After completing my 10th class exams in 1979, my father suggested that I go and help my father's uncle and learns astrology. Mathematics being my favorite subject, I learned the calculations. My grandfather taught me how to calculate the inclinations of each planet and how to calculate the lagna and the meridian center MC, and he gave me some birth charts to draw. Thus, I learned how to draw the birth charts first and showed interest in predictions. So, my grandfather told me some predictions, some of the tips that he usually uses for predictions. And after learning those tips, I documented some of them. I verified with my father. While my father and my grandfather have laid the foundation for me to get interested in astrology for almost a decade or 2 decades, I didn't show any interest. Let's now look at this chart. The male native born in 1979 and was unmarried. The last time I came to know that he is still unmarried, he is still a bachelor, was in April 2017. So let me go and look at his chart. Lagna is Jupiter, the first house, and fortunately in the first house there aren't any planets there. So let's go and start looking at the important houses pertaining to marriage. With Lagna Lord being Jupiter, what you see is that the Lagna Lord is in 6th house. The second house Lord is Mars. Mars is in the 4th house. The 4th and the 7th house Lord Mercury is in the 6th house. The 9th house Lord is Mars, again in the 4th house. And the 5th house Lord Moon is in the 9th house. And the 11th and 12th house Lord Saturn is in the 6th house. So, first we'll go for one step at a time. The 7th house Lord is Mercury. Mercury is in the 6th house. Remember, there is a rule. I think I read it from the daughter of late B.V. Raman, saying that if the Lord of the 6th house is in 7th house or vice versa, then there is a high possibility either the native will remain unmarried, or if the native got married, then the native will get divorced or become a widow. So, for this person, the 7th house Lord is Mercury. Mercury is residing in the 6th house. So, if you consider that rule, the possibility for this native is either remain unmarried, or if the native got married, the native will either become or get divorced or become a widow. Widow means his wife will die. Now we know that the native is unmarried right now. Now let's go and look at the 6th house. The reason why I'm emphasizing on the 6th house here is, if you look at the 6th house, there are 5 major planets and Rahu. So when Rahu is in 6th house, the direct aspect, all these 6 planets, their direct aspect is on 12th house, and 12th house is pleasures of bed. So let's start with it. First of all, Mercury, the 7th house Lord, is in 6th house. So as I said earlier, there the possibility for this native is minimal to get married. So next comes Sun. Sun is the Lord of the 6th house, residing in its own house, but Sun is co-joined with Saturn. Sun and Saturn are enemies. So Saturn is residing in his enemy's house and also co-joined with the enemy. Next is Venus. Venus is the Lord of the 3rd and 8th houses and the natural Karaka for marriage for men, for both men and women. And Venus is now with 2 malefic planets, Saturn and Rahu. So the natural Karaka got spoiled, afflicted. Now see, Mercury got afflicted, Sun is worthless, Venus got afflicted. Now comes to the Jupiter. Jupiter is the lord of the first house, self. But if you see here, Jupiter is residing, is co-joined with the malefic Saturn and malefic Rahu. So the Jupiter got afflicted. This tells you that because of so many planets are there, the chances for the native to get married is very difficult. Now let's go and look at the Bihurgu Sarala Paddhati rules. Rule number 1, according to Graha Yuddha, Saturn is the winner. So the Saturn is now rules the 6th house, owns 11th house and 12th house. Wow. And next, according to Bihurgu Sarala Paddhati, wherever Saturn resides, he spoils the house next to its residence. Here Saturn is in the 6th house. So he spoils the 7th house. And he co-joined with the 7th house Lord Mercury and spoiling the 7th house. There's another rule that states that if Jupiter gets afflicted, Jupiter spoils the house next to its residence. We know that Jupiter got afflicted because of Saturn and Rahu. So Jupiter is also going to spoil the 7th house. And Jupiter is also co-joined with the 7th house Lord. Look at this. The Saturn and Jupiter together, they are co-joined with the 7th house Lord and they are spoiling the 7th house together. And now another Bihurgu Sarala Paddhati rule states that if Saturn and Jupiter has co-joined in any house, then the Mesha or Aries, whatever the characteristics of that house, will be spoiled. For this native, Mesha is the 2nd house, Kutumbasthanamo. Now the 7th house got spoiled. The combination of Jupiter and Saturn is resulting in the spoilage of the 2nd house, Kutumbasthanamo. Okay, and the 7th house Lord is in the 6th house, and the natural Karaka for marriage, Venus, is co-joined with the 2 malefics, and above all of these, Rahu is residing in the 6th house, having a direct aspect on the 12th house, which is the pleasures of bed. When you look this, it clearly says that this particular native, for this particular native, the possibility of getting married is close to 0. It's very, very close to 0. So now let's go and see from moon perspective. From moon is in Scorpio. So the 2nd house Lord is Jupiter. Well, I told you Jupiter got spoiled. 4th house Lord is Saturn. Well, you know what happened. 5th house Lord is again Jupiter. Done. 7th house Lord is Venus. Done. So whether it is from Rashi Lagna or Chandra Lagna, there is no scope for this native to get married. So that's the reason why the native, even from born in 1979, that means it's almost more than 30 years old, and still the native is finding it difficult to get married. Let's discuss about the one particular house, Leo. If you look at it, that's a plan. If you look the Rashi Lagna, Rashi chart, you see that in Leo there are 6 planets. And so what I did is I took the inclinations for each and every planet, and then in that house between 0 degrees and 30 degrees, I tried to represent where the planets are residing. Mars and Jupiter, they both are with 0 degrees. That means they are on the Rashi Sandhi. That's the biggest disadvantage for them. So you see on the top residing them being at 0 degrees, and then Venus is at 14 degrees, Venus is 14, Rahu is 14, and the Sun is 13. So all the 3 are close inclining. So Venus, Rahu and Sun, all the 3 are very, very close. And then the most important here is Saturn. Saturn is at 22 degrees. That means it's the edge of the Leo Rashi. So when you look at it, Jupiter is on one edge of the Rashi, that is at 0 degrees, and Saturn is at the other edge of the Rashi, which is 22 degrees. So between Jupiter and Saturn, two big planets, you see Mercury, Venus, Sun and Rahu all are residing there. That's the reason why these planets, Mercury, Venus and Sun, couldn't do anything good for this native when it comes to marriage or marital life, even though Mercury is the lord of the 4th and 7th houses, and Venus is the natural karaka for marriage, and the Sun is the lord of the 6th house. And when you look from moon, 12, 11, 10, he is the lord of the 10th house. If you go and look at the Bihuru Chakra Paddhati, as I said earlier, it's worthless to, after looking at the chart and the way the planets got co-joined in the 6th house and getting afflicted, there is no reason for Venus or Mercury to activate the possibility for the native to get married, because both Mercury and Venus are sandwiched between Jupiter and Saturn in Leo Rasi, in Simha Rasi. So Mercury can do nothing and then Venus can do anything. So all the way from at the age of 23, that is August 2002, till all the way till August 2015, nothing. There won't be any possibility for the native to get married. So now let's go and look at August 2017, which is when the native is 37 years old. August 2017 to 2018. At that time, Sun activates the 2nd house. So let's go and look at the Rashi and see what is the 2nd house. Sun residing in the 6th house, when it activates the 2nd house from its natal position, that means Sun is activating the 7th house. And remember, Sun has co-joined with Mercury, so there is a possibility for the native, for the 7th house to get activated. Second, Sun activates the 2nd house from Rashi Lagna, which is Mars. Mars is residing in the house owned by Mercury. So there is a possibility, my smallest possibility, after August 2017, sorry, from August 2016 till August 2017. So August 2016 till August 2017, there is a possibility that Sun might give the chance for the native to get married. But during that time, when you look at the transit planets, let's go and look at the transit planets too. Until June 2017, June or July 2017, when Sun activates the 7th house, which is Virgo, transit Jupiter is residing there. Remember, natal Saturn and natal Jupiter has already spoiled the transit Virgo, the 7th house. That's where in a spoiled house, transit Jupiter is residing. So the transit Jupiter cannot help the native to get married. Now let's go and look at 12th house lord is Saturn. So let's go and look at where is transit Saturn between August 2016 and August 2017. You will see that transit Saturn is in Scorpio during that time, between Scorpio and Sagittarius. It is swinging between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So you see the Scorpio moon, natal moon is residing. That means the native has the impact of Sadeshani during this period when Sun was trying to activate the 2nd house, the 7th house from Rashi Lagna and 2nd house from its natal position. So transit Jupiter is no way helpful. Transit Saturn is having a Sadeshani, and precisely transit Saturn is touching natal moon, which is the Dharmasthanamo, both in Dharmasthanamo. So transit Saturn has to do something that is against Dharma, pertaining to 11th and 12th houses precisely. 11th house is Kamasthanamo and 12th house is pleasures of bed. So you can understand that as far as I know, until April 2017, the native was unmarried. Let's go and see whether at least the Mahadasas are cooperating or not. Because now we have seen the Rashi chart is no way cooperating. The planets, the natal planets are no way cooperating. We went to the Bihuru Chakra Paddhati and found out that even though the natal Saturn is trying to make the native get married, the transit Jupiter and transit Saturn are no way cooperating. So let's go and see at least the Mahadasas. What are the Mahadasas? If you look at it, Venus Mahadasha started in 2011 April. So, Venus, if you look from Rashi Lagna, Venus is the lord of the 3rd and 8th houses, residing in the 6th house, co-joined with so many other malefics. So, Venus is gone from Rashi Lagna. That is the destiny. Let's go from sea and from moon. From moon, Venus is the lord of the 7th and 12th houses, residing in the 10th house. Wow, that's the reason why the moon is your mind. That's the reason why the native was willing to get married after 2011, since 2011 onwards, but the native was not able to get proper alliances. That means from the mind perspective, the native was willing to get married. From the destiny perspective, there is no reason. The destiny is not to get married, is to remain as a bachelor.